Good morning. I'd like to welcome everyone to the second round of Read, Write, and Speak training, sponsored by the Leadership and Learning Center. I want to apologize for our last training and not offering a general welcome to everyone. I was with the science group for the majority of the day, and I know that there were some gaps in communication, and I wanted to make sure that those gaps were closed as we get into this second round of training, which we feel is very important at the district level as we take our transition into the new Common Core standards for not just reading and writing and speaking, but for all curricular areas, and even in our special areas. So it's very important that we start the day out fresh and we start the day out where everyone's on the same page. Three major talking points that I really want to get to today as we begin training, or before we begin training. Number one is read, write, and speak are our district goals, and that is across the curriculum, no matter what subject you're teaching, no matter which group of kids you have, it's a priority that our kids day in and day out have the opportunity to read, to write, and to communicate about what they've read and about what they've written. And as we talk about this, it's not just important in your classes, but what we know is it's important in life, whether they go on to college, whether they go to a career, or whether they go to the military. If you recall back on what Bill Daggett said when he was with us earlier in the year, is the importance of reading and the importance of being able to write and articulate at a higher level than we ever have before. With the ever-changing society that we live in and things going more to the technology side, being able to communicate is an extremely important part of success in life. As we talk about these English and language arts standards, there is a reason that we have these for every subject area. And that simple reason being is that that's the heart of all subject areas. And I had Doug Reeves, I'm going to email a few pages of the Daily Disciplines of Leadership book to you, because in this book, and I believe it's chapter 7, Doug talks about the importance of writing in every subject area. In fact, he goes into detail and says when writing increases in non-writing areas, those scores drastically increase. For example, in math, when math kids write more, their math scores increase. When science kids write more, their science scores increase, and so on and so forth. And that plays out across the board in all subject areas. And I have some data to show and back that up. And so that's the reason that everyone's gathered here today, is to show that significance and that connection with the reading, writing, and speaking across the board. And finally, the next steps. We're all going to transition to planning for our own subject areas and to develop units with vocabulary wrapped around them, units with writing, units with common formative assessments. And this is going to be similar to what's happening in English language arts standards. They've set the stage for what we're going to develop at the district level. So we wanted to go through all of this as a group to help you build that foundation so that you can then make connections back to reading and writing and speaking and know the heart and the foundation of that as you're building your own curriculum for your subject area. I'd like to welcome you all again to this training. I want you to put your heart in it and understand that there is some method behind the madness for everyone being in this training. I know that sometimes as we travel throughout the day today, our minds are going to be in other places, especially with this being election day. But please give your undivided attention to these folks from the Leadership and Learning Center who have put a tremendous amount of time and research into what they're bringing to the table today. And please know that we're way ahead of the game compared to other districts as we present to you this training. So once again, I wish that you have a great day today. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask those. And go Broncos.